I never had a personal trainer before, but now that I think about it, it's one of the best decisions because it works. Carlos Aquino, I'm 40. So I had a meniscus repair surgery in November 2023.
Okay.
And so after the surgery, my insurance sent me to a very basic therapy or recover program. And then I think it was something like around a month. And then they said, oh, you can walk. Basically, you're on your own. And I was like, yeah. And so how do I get back on my feet, basically? And they were like, well, you're back on your feet. I was like, yeah, but I can't do anything. And so the nature of my work is I'm a builder. So I need to get on ladders. I need to jump from like second story. It's kind of like a firefighter type of job. So I was screwed, basically. And I didn't think I was going to recover. I was like, well, I think I'll just have to find another job. And then, I mean, computers nowadays are very smart. So I put something like, how do I recover from like this kind of surgery? And in one of those searches, I think it was in Instagram or somewhere, sports performance showed up. So then I think Sam contacted me and came to the initial session, and it all made sense. So then I had my initial session, and I wasn't like very. I didn't follow the instructions like to the letter, but I did whatever I could to keep on track. And over the months, I was able to see the difference. And I've known people that have had the same type of surgery, and like 30% have recovered, and about 70% they've recovered somewhat, but not to the point where they were before. In my case, I think I was able to recover very much to the same to where I was before the surgery, even a little bit better. I mean, it's still ongoing, but I can do very much everything I need to, and I have no problem. Just for the nature, given the nature of the surgery, like the knee, it takes forever to heal. And it's one of those things that you need to take it to the limit, and then you need to let it recover. And that's something that I learned here. It's a new concept, right? To have to take your body to the limit and then put ice or put something. But I think so far it was great. I think it offered kind of what I was looking for, because we have this concept of wannabe younger old men. So you kind of don't want to go to like where old people go, right? But you still don't want to go to like where young people go because you feel out of place, right? So I think that's kind of like your marketing on that segment. It makes a lot of sense because like you get the best of both worlds. Like you get to like it's not only the marketing; it's just like everything. It's set up for that kind of client, like for that kind of like person, right? Like somebody that if I really spend the time, I feel like I could have done like way more recover. Like, you know, if I wanted really to be an athlete again, like the way that you have it, it's set up that way. It wasn't really my purpose, but so I don't know if I'm answering your question. It's just, it offered me, I looked at it like about 2 or 3 places, and it just felt like the best. There was pain and it was scary. It was just stiff, and I didn't really know my limits. It's just I didn't know if I like every time. I mean, I was afraid of jumping, for example, because I had no resistance or no power or no force to like. I could jump, but then whenever landing, I didn't have any like any I don't know, like tissue or whatever it needs. And so I started in some of the sessions with very small exercises, like really jumping even 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. And then from there it got better to the point where I don't even need to worry about it anymore. So I had pain. It was a weird surgery because they also kind of grinded some piece of bone. So it's still painful sometimes whenever it's cold, but because it's the knee, the main issue is not so much pain, but it's mobility. Sometimes it's weird, but sometimes it just feels it doesn't want to move. It kind of just want to be like, just kind of wants to stick, right? And so every time that I came to the sessions here, I could see the difference. It was like instead of taking medicine, it was like I'd rather come to the sessions. And then it just got better, stronger, better, stronger, to the point where I didn't even I forgot about because it used to be a task having to remember that I was injured and that I couldn't do certain things. So like part of my work involves like carrying heavy stuff sometimes, and most of the time I just had to get somebody to help me, and I don't need that anymore. Like fine,
yeah.
Everything. It was just like I couldn't walk long distances, for example. I love walking. I love going to the like I don't know, beach, going to some of the tracks. I'm just active in general, and it was just very limiting. And just by coming to the sessions, I got a general guidance on what to do, what not to do, how, what intensity, how to, because if I had tried it on my own, I'll probably had re-injured myself at some point, because you just don't know like how much to do it. But to answer your question, I mean, I will say that I was able to walk, but if I remember correctly, when I came, I was able to walk maybe a mile, and then my knee will be swollen. And it went from there to going to 5 miles, to going to 10 miles, to going to however miles I need to walk and don't need to worry about it anymore. And that was step 1, like being able to walk long distances. And same with the bike, right? Bicycle. Then the next step was the shock absorption. So jumping, running, that kind of power on the knee. And again, I started from 0. Like I remember it was really interesting. The first session when I jumped, the next day my knee was super swollen, and it really took some time to like recover. And by the next session I was able to jump again. And so again, it started being like a 1 jump, 2 jumps, 5, 10 jumps, to the point where I didn't have to think about it anymore. And then Coach Sam would just say, he told me just get a rope and just jump like at home. And then after jumping, then I was able to really get some resistance and start running. So that's kind of where I stopped. Like that's where I'm at. Like I can run. I can't run like a marathon yet, but I can run like a mile with no problem. And it's great. I mean, just I'm not 20-year-old, like, so for me it's enough, right? But yeah, I want to push it a little bit more to the limit, but a day at a time. Well, on my own, just there's a lot of people there that kind of know everything, and like, no, you don't. Like, I see, like my family. I mean, I don't know if it's a family thing, but like my parents, my mom has had a very similar surgery, and I don't think that she ever like recovered, or not in the way that I did, because she didn't get like the guidance. Like, she recovered, but I've seen some of the exercises that she does sometimes, and it's like, no, like, I don't. I mean, I'm not an expert, but just based on what worked for me, like, yeah, and just I think that's the main difference with sports performance, that the staff that you have is just, they are just experts, not wannabe experts, but experts. And in this kind of like my kind of recovery is just those little details make a huge difference, because I mean, there is no comparison like with a coach like of the caliber that you'll have here with what you will have at a regular gym. Is, yeah. Well, I mean, it's just being able to work. It's just, yeah. Like, in my case, because my work is being very active, just I could see the like improvement from day to day, where I was able to really carry stuff, move stuff, climb ladders, get on roofs, whatever it is that I needed to do. And just as I got better, it's just one of those things that the better you feel, the more things that you can do, and you forget about it. And the more you think about it, the more stress you feel, the worse it gets. And I feel the best thing from sport performance is that, like, I went to the positive trend. It was just, yeah, and I was sure that I was going to the positive trend, and that it makes that difference in your what is the word, in your trust, on your basically, that you're sure that you can do it, and that you're not guessing. The bigger one, it's jumping and running. It's just, from the people that had the kind of surgery that I have, let's say out of 20 people, I've only met one person that was able to recover. I mean, he's an athlete, like a professional athlete, so he had to recover somehow. But other than that, just ordinary non-athlete people that I know that had a similar surgery, they never were able to recover like completely. So after this guy, the athlete that I know, I think I'm the second to have recovered the best after him. No, definitely to come, definitely. So when I had my surgery, I had symptoms on my other knee, which I was petrified of, because I said, well, you know, if I'm following the logic, and I was, you know, in, like, my right knee was injured, and I'm having the same or similar symptoms on my left knee, then, I mean, I didn't even want to ask the physician, like check my left knee. Like I didn't even want to have that conversation with him. And interestingly enough, when I started coming to sports performance, this is what happened. It wasn't only my weak knee that got better. It wasn't only my knees that got better. It was just everything got better. So to answer your question, it's just like it's just the right way to do it, because like you're really, I don't know, it's a habit type of thing. Like just some people, like I never had a personal trainer before, but now that I think about it, it's one of the best decisions because it works. Yeah, just like you don't guess, or you don't do generic stuff. It's like you do what you need to do when you need to do it at the intensity that you need to do it, and it's gonna work 100%.
Hi, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification for my weekly tips on improving your lifelong health without aches and pains. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.